Hello, Year 9 French. Welcome to this hot Friday. Let's learn some French. Whoops. Right, so we're going to do two things. We are going to learn Ir verbs, that's a new sort of verb. And we're going to learn how to say, I'd like a piece of cheese, a slice of pizza, these portions, so words for portions. So let's get going. Let's start off with Ir verbs and then we'll do the portions. So I need you to turn in your book to page 13 and look at the dossier long box just there. Okay, so that's the bit I want you to look at. And let's look at what's going on there. You have, look up the top there. I'm going to put it up on the board for you. And let's go through this. Alright, we have the heading, choisir. Now that's the verb to choose. That's the verb to choose. And I suppose like in Ir verbs, do you remember Ir verbs? We had a heading for Ir verbs. We call it the infinitive. And so this is the same, except it finishes in IR, not ER. See? How do you know if a verb in French is an IR verb? Well, you look it up in the dictionary, or you look it up in the back of your book, and it ends in IR. That's how you know. Or we tell you. There's a couple of sneaky IR verbs that misbehave, but for the moment, that's enough for you to run with. If it finishes in IR, it's an IR verb. That's enough for us for the moment. So, choisir is an IR verb, which means to choose. And that's to choose. The question, though, I'll just change that. I can see that's a little bit... Hold on a tick. The question, however, is if that's to choose, I'll write it here. How do we say I choose, or you choose, or he chooses, or she chooses, or we choose? Just like with every other verb we've met, you just have to know the forms. The good news is, once you know how to do one IR verb, you can do all of them. With a few exceptions we'll worry about another day. So let me show you how you do it. The je form, you cross off the R and you replace it with an S, and it's pronounced like this. Choisi. Choisi. Do you want to say that out loud, please? You can whisper it, but say it out loud, please. Je choisis. 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 Je choisis. Choisis. Je choisis. So, to go from the dictionary form to the je form, you cross off the R and you put on an S. Okay, next we have the tu form. Choisis. It's exactly the same. Je choisis. Tu choisis. Choisis. Je choisis. Tu choisis. Il or elle is choisi as well. It's exactly the same, but it finishes with a T. It finishes with the letter T. Il, elle choisit. Nous. Now, something strange happens with these three that's very particular about IR verbs. It's quite strange. Here we go. We go like this. Choisis en. And when you look at what we're doing there, you will see the ISS comes in here. And that's very strange. It's almost like, do you see that? Nous choisissons. Nous choisissons. I'm going to drag this over a little bit so we can see it. So that's very odd, isn't it? It's almost like Mr. ISS was walking around and he sort of jumps in. as if he sort of gate crashed a party or something like that. Choisissons. Nous choisissons. Then we have vous. Choisissez. Do you see there's an I-double-S there? Where did it come from? Who knows? But there it is. Vous choisissez. And then ils choisissent. And again you have an I-double-S. So if you go back to that IR heading, what's happening over here? We're crossing off the R, and then we're adding ils sont, ils c'est, and then is, with the ENT at the end. So let's go through it. Je choisis, you should repeat after me please. Je choisis, tu choisis, il choisit, nous choisissons, vous choisissez, ils choisissent. What you might want to do is look at the textbook and focus in on that. Alright, so I'm going to pause this video now, and in the second video we're just going to do lots of practice, so let's do that. Hello! Okay, now what we're going to do is practice IR verbs. So I'll look at page 13 again, and you know choisir. What are we going to do with the other verbs? So here are some IR verbs in French. They're good verbs for you to learn. We have finir, to finish. So this is talking about finishing homework, for instance. So let's practice that out loud. You can write out the forms in your book, and if you want to pause the video now and write them out to practice and to get used to them, you can. But I'm not going to write them up here. I'm just going to write the heading, and we're going to go through them. So let's go with finir. Okay, here's how it works. In the first instance, I want you to repeat after me. So let's repeat after me. Je finis. Tu finis. Il finit. Nous finissons. Vous finissez. Ils finissent. Do you hear the I-double-S coming in for nous, vous, and il? Alright, let's go again, but quicker. Je finis. Tu finis. Il finit. Nous finissons. Vous finissez. Ils finissent. Let's say something a bit more meaningful. I finished the homework. Je finis les devoirs. Tu finis les devoirs. Il finit les devoirs. Nous finissons les devoirs. Vous finissez les devoirs. Ils finissent les devoirs. So now what I want you to do is rewind this video, but this time I want you to pause just before I say all of the phrases and say them yourself, and then press play to see if you got them right. If you do that, you'll be able to see whether you know them off by heart or whether you have to practice them. If you don't know them off by heart, just keep playing this video and repeating over and over again until you're sure that you have it. So let's go to the next verb. Let's go to remplir. Remplir is to fill up something. And you can use it with the word for bottle. A bottle is, it's feminine. It's oops, here we go. Bouteille. Bou, that's O-U. Bou. And then E-I, bouteille. Bouteille. Remplir la bouteille. Bouteille. Alright, so let's do remplir. Forget about finir now. No, don't forget about it. But finir is yesterday's news. What's hot now is remplir. So je. Repeat after me. Je remplis. With an I-S at the end, yeah? I-S. Tu remplis. With an S at the end. Il remplit. With a T at the end. Nous Remplissons. ISS suddenly jumps in. I'll say that again. Nous remplissons. Vous remplissez. Ils remplissent. Let's go again. Je remplis. Tu remplis. Il remplit. Nous remplissons. Vous remplissez. Ils remplissent. Let's say it with the bottle. I fill up the bottle. Je remplis la bouteille. Tu remplis la bouteille. Il remplit la bouteille. Nous remplissons la bouteille. Vous remplissez la bouteille. Ils remplissent la bouteille. Next word is réussir. Réussir. So have a look at it in your book and let's go through it a little bit more rapidly. You need to rewind and practice these over and over again. You don't just listen to this video once, please. Practice, practice, practice. Okay, réussir. Je réussis. Réussis. Tu réussis. Il réussit. Nous réussissons. Vous réussissez. Ils réussissent. Now, here's a hint. Réussir is also the word to pass. Did you pass your exam? Oui. And you say, je réussis. Okay, let's go again. Réussir. Bit quicker. Je réussis. Tu réussis. Il réussit. Nous réussissons. Vous réussissez. Ils réussissent. Let's do the last four really quickly. Pâlir, to go pale. This is optional, by the way. If you want to go to the next video, you probably can at this point. But you should play back those first three verbs and practice them so you know them really well. Je pâlis. Tu pâlis. Il pâlit. Nous pâlissons. Vous pâlissez. Ils pâlissent. Rougir, de blush. Je rougis. Tu rougis. Il rougit. Nous rougissons. Vous rougissez. Ils rougissent. Grossir, to get fat. Je grossis. Tu grossis. Il grossit. Nous grossissons. Vous grossissez. Ils grossissent. Maigrir, to get thin. Je maigris. Tu maigris. Il maigrit. Nous maigrissons. Vous maigrissez. Ils maigrissent. And again, just rewind this video and get to the point where you can say it with me. It's no good if you just repeat after me. That's a good start, but you have to get to the point where you can keep up with me or even preempt me. With that in mind, welcome to the Easter egg. That is correct. I've got an Easter egg in this video, and this is it. It's the special advanced session. I'm going to go through all the verbs, but so fast I bet you no one can follow me. It's impossible. Okay, you don't have to do this. This is like super, super quick, super advanced. We're going to go in the positive and then the negative. See if you can keep up. If you can, you are a superstar. Okay, here we go. Choisir. Je choisis. Tu choisis. Il choisit. Nous choisissons. Vous choisissez. Ils choisissent. Alright? Negative. Je ne choisis pas. Tu ne choisis pas. Il ne choisit pas. Nous ne choisissons pas. Vous ne choisissez pas. Ils ne choisissent pas. Finir. Je finis. Tu finis. Il finit. Nous finissons. Vous finissez. Ils finissent. Je ne finis pas. Tu ne finis pas. Il ne finit pas. Nous ne finissons pas. Vous ne finissez pas. Ils ne finissent pas. Remplir. La bouteille. Je remplis la bouteille. Tu remplis la bouteille. Il remplit la bouteille. Nous remplissons la bouteille. Vous remplissez la bouteille. Ils remplissent la bouteille. Negative. Je ne remplis pas la bouteille. Tu ne remplis pas la bouteille. Il ne remplit pas la bouteille. Nous ne remplissons pas la bouteille. Vous ne remplissez pas la bouteille. Ils ne remplissent pas la bouteille. To succeed, réussir. Je réussis, tu réussis, il réussit, nous réussissons, vous réussissez, ils réussissent. Je ne réussis pas, tu ne réussis pas, il ne réussit pas, nous ne réussissons pas, vous ne réussissez pas, ils ne réussissent pas. Pâlir, to go pale. Je pâlis, tu pâlis, il pâlit, nous pâlissons, vous pâlissez, ils pâlissent. Negative. Je ne pâlis pas, tu ne pâlis pas, il ne pâlit pas, nous ne pâlissons pas, vous ne pâlissez pas, ils ne pâlissent pas. Rugir, to blush. Je rugis, tu rugis, il rugit, nous rugissons, vous rugissez, ils rugissent. Negative. Je ne rugis pas, tu ne rugis pas, il ne rugit pas, nous ne rugissons pas, vous ne rugissez pas, ils ne rugissent pas. Grossir. Je grossis, tu grossis, il grossit, nous grossissons, vous grossissez, ils grossissent. Negative. Je ne grossis pas, tu ne grossis pas, il ne grossit pas, nous ne grossissons pas, vous ne grossissez pas, ils ne grossissent pas. Maigrir. Je maigris, je maigris, tu maigris, il maigrit, nous maigrissons, vous maigrissez, ils maigrissent. Je ne maigris pas, tu ne maigris pas, il ne maigrit pas, nous ne maigrissons pas, vous ne maigrissez pas, ils ne maigrissent pas. Well, if you kept up with that, you're doing amazing. Why can I do it? Why can Mr. Collis do that so quickly? Because to my mind, I'm just saying something like this. I am, you are, he is, she is, we are, you are, they are. I am not, you are not, he is not, she is not, we are not, you are not, they are not. You could do that in English, it's easy. So fluency is just overlearning. That's all it is. If you want to be fluent, just overlearn, and that's how you become fluent. Definitely the sort of thing where you just learn this on the bus. Just repeat the verbs on the bus. Repeat the verbs when you walk the dog. Repeat the verbs as you wash up. And that's how we go. Woohoo! How do we say in French portions? How do we say, I want a slice of pizza. I want a piece of cheese. You know, this is a new language. We have to learn how to say these things. If we don't learn, we won't know how to say them. So, turn to page 10, and we're going to look at them essentially from the grammar box and then from the exercises. So, from the grammar box, repeat after me. Une boîte de. Une boîte de. Now, une boîte de is a can. So, we call it a can, they call it a boîte, but that's the same word for box. Crazy French people, but that's how we say it. Une boîte is a can. Une portion de, and that's a bit like a serving of. Un kilo de is obviously a kilo of. Six tranches de, or une tranche de, or deux tranches de, or trois tranches de is how many slices of pizza. Okay, now you can order a pizza. Well done. And then un morceau de is like a piece of cheese or something like that. So I want you to do exercise 1 now. So pause the video, then come back and we'll mark it together and we'll say it out loud. Okay, number 1. You should have paused and done the exercise. Okay, number 1. Une portion de salade de tomate. Une portion de salade de tomate. Number 2. Un kilo de pommes. Un kilo de pommes. Number 3. Un grand morceau, a big piece, right? Un grand morceau de quiche. Un grand morceau de quiche. Interesting that they say morceau with quiche, but they say tranche de pizza. So just make a note of that. Okay, number 4. Une boîte de thon. Thon is tuna. Une boîte de thon. Number 5. Une bouteille d'eau. Une bouteille d'eau. Une bouteille d'eau. Number 6. Un pot de moutarde. Un pot de moutarde. Well, that's a new word, un pot, and clearly it means a jar. Un pot is a jar. Un pot is a jar. Number 7. 4 tranches de jambon. Slices, right? Slices of pizza. Of ham. Of ham. Not pizza, ham. 4 tranches de jambon. Number 8, un paquet, new word, un paquet de biscuits, un paquet de biscuits. Number 9, un litre de lait. Number 10, 100 grammes de, and what on earth is it? Green. Fromage. 100 grammes de fromage. Repeat this video, please. Make a little map in your book over how to say a packet, how to say a jar, how to say a can, etc. Notice the word between the actual thing is de. We just put de. That's easy. It doesn't matter if it's masculine or feminine. Yeehaw! Ooh, 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 yeehaw! Easy French. We just say de. Une portion de. Un kilo de. Un paquet de. When you say one thing of another thing, a tin of tuna, in French you don't have to worry. You just say de. What great news. Okay, practice.